There have been times where I have been completely overwhelmed by our fixer-upper house. But when I look back on everything that we've built, everything I've learned about myself, I am truly grateful. You're listening to Home DIYs for Busy Women, a safe space to dream, learn, make mistakes, and talk about the real stuff when it comes to home DIYs and beyond. I'm Sheri. I'm a married working mother of two living in the west coast of British Columbia. I have been updating and decorating our homes since 2017, and I am passionate about helping you create a home you love. So, back in 2022 is when we purchased our detached home. And I'll tell you, when we first walked in that front door, the feelings of underwhelm that we felt were huge. My father-in-law was our realtor, and he gave us our keys and was there for our first walkthrough. And he reflected back later saying that, I'm glad, like, that was the first time I've seen someone do, like, the full walkthrough of their house, and he's like, "I'm kinda glad I wasn't there for every single one of those with my clients because that would have made my job a lot harder." Because honestly, I think the look on our faces, we were just, like, completely like, "What have we done?" Like, you walked through the front door and yeah, it just smelled like an old house. There was, like, paint splotches everywhere. There's some foods left over in, like, the kitchen cupboards. We walked into, like, our bedroom and well, what was gonna be our bedroom, and it was, like, this bright canary yellow that seemed so much brighter than from when we did our walkthrough. Then there was, like, this, like, fuchsia ink splattered on the walls in some spots, and I just remember being like, "I cannot sleep in this." And so, yeah, we were like, "Okay, okay," like, just having to redirect and be like, "What do we like?" And like, I said, "I like the front door going out to the deck, and I like that we have a backyard." And like my husband went through some of the things that he said, and we just had to, kind of look at each other and be like, "Okay, this will be worth it. It's going to take some elbow grease, but we can do this." But yeah, that first day we moved in, my husband was ripping up carpets downstairs. I was painting our bedroom because I was like, there's no point in moving our bed into here when it's like this bright yellow that we definitely can't sleep in. And yeah, doing a big clean of the house, like just so many things. And it took, I would say, like a good month of like kind of organizing and cleaning and doing little updates here and there for it to really start to feel like our house, to feel like home. And we actually found a bunch of mold in like the basement bathroom. And so we couldn't use that bathroom at all. And we found that out within the first month that we lived there. And so we basically, our little family of four was just living on the top floor, which was totally fine. Our girls were little. And, but we went from having like three and a half bathrooms in our townhouse to having one bathroom between the four of us. Luckily, my little one wasn't potty trained yet. But yeah, it was just different. But the layout definitely felt a bit more functional than our townhouse. And we didn't have any regrets, but it was just this feeling of like, okay, this is going to be a lot of work. And so it was about 2 years that we lived just on the top floor, because as you know, BC housing market is very expensive, and it just took us a while to be able to be at a point where we could reno the basement. And so uh, in 2024, we kind of hit a boiling point where my youngest was potty trained, so now there was four of us competing for one toilet, and we were like, okay, we need to make a change here. And so we worked with my husband's uncle, who is a contractor, and developed our plan. And my husband Matt set up to do all the demolition downstairs, and it was a huge undertaking. And it took a long time. I think we started the demo in, it was like August of 2024. And then the renovations started in September after the demolition. And it wasn't done until like mid December. Definitely worth it, and it was just a lot of work. Lots needed to be done. They reframed the bathroom, like, we were moving walls. We, moved our master bedroom downstairs, and then, as if you've done renos, you know that it kinda spreads to other areas of the house. We did some other things, like, upstairs, did a shiplap wall and made some really amazing improvements, to our house, but it was during that time, like, our house our home. It felt chaotic, people coming in and out, dust everywhere. I felt like I was constantly cleaning, and we were just in this state of like kind of being disorganized. And I got to a point where I was having a lot of trouble sleeping, a lot of trouble. And my mind would just spin, 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 and I couldn't relax. And it got to a point where I was sleeping on the couch some nights because I didn't want to disturb Matt because I was tossing and turning so much. And yeah, I would go to like my day shifts at work just feeling exhausted, and Matt was like, Cher, like, something's got to change here. Like, you are not sleeping well. And like, taking a little bit of NyQuil every night is not a fix. I'm like, I know. But like, I was like, it's fine. It's just like a bit of insomnia. I will like keep my exercise routine. I will journal. I will do all the normal things that always would help me when I would have sleepless nights. Because if I'm being honest, I've had trouble sleeping for years. And I think shift work plays a part, but just life things. And yeah, and so I didn't want to hear it. I knew there was a problem, but I was like, he's just overreacting. Like it's just a couple nights on the couch, whatever. Um, but it took my sister like about because I was just explaining, like, oh, I'm just really just not sleeping well. And she's like, Sheri, like the fact that your mind is spinning, she's like, that sounds like a lot like anxiety. And I was like, really? Like it's just insomnia. She's like, no, like that's anxiety. I'm like, well, why does it only happen at night? She's like, because you are so busy during the day that the only time where you're slowing down is at night. And that's when this mental spinning keeps happening. And I was like, interesting. I mean, it's honestly the same thing Matt had been saying for months, but I could only hear it from my sister. And so I was like, interesting. Okay. So I made an appointment with my family doctor, and because I was resistant to seeing my family doctor because I just didn't want to be prescribed a sleeping pill. I'm like, nope, I don't want to go that route. But I just was very, yeah, just wasn't ready to hear it. So made an appointment with my family doctor and kind of explained what was going on. She's like, okay. She's like, well, let's get you to take this general anxiety questionnaire. And so it was like 7 questions, and you kind of answer it honestly, like choose like an item, an answer on like a scale. And, the results, like, I was on the high end. I was like, "Oh my gosh," and seeing, like, a number value, my medical brain loved loved that, but it was also super humbling. I was like, "Oh my god, I have anxiety," or I have been dealing with anxiety. It's, like, interesting. And so, yeah, super humbling for me, and, so my family doctor, we talked about it, and, because I had all these healthy habits in place already in terms of exercising and journaling and kind of, you know, um, even counseling, like walking through everything. She's like, you know what? She's like, let's start you on just a very low dose of an SSRI. And I was like, okay, anything to get me sleeping, honestly. And so within a couple weeks of being on it, I felt great. Like I was able to sleep without having to take anything, no melatonin or anything. And I just felt like I could enjoy my life a lot more, like be present, not always worried about everything. Um, and it like all the tools that I had already of like journaling and exercise, it all kind of came together, and I just felt relaxed and able to kind of like process things better. And yeah, it's just been huge for me. And it's honestly, I think, what gave me the confidence to be able to start my blog, and then think about like, okay, I want to start my own business, and I am passionate about DIYs. I want to kind of lean into that passion of something other than respiratory therapy, which I do as my day job. And yeah, it just kind of gave me that, yeah, the desire and the confidence to be able to do it, because I was first of all getting sleep, which is huge. And I wasn't so anxious anymore. And so yeah, it was just a hard thing to go through, but I'm really glad I did. And I don't think it would have come to a head if we hadn't taken on the challenge of um, taking on a fixer-upper house. So I'm not saying that doing home renos will give you anxiety. But I am saying that sometimes when you take on a challenge, you learn more about yourself, and it's very worthwhile to go through and yeah, take on challenges that stretch you, grow you, and help you learn. And so, basically, what I'm wanting you to take away from the story that I'm sharing here is that the skills, like the physical ones that I learned from like painting and doing like the some of the finishing work from a renovation. I did, full disclosure, did not do the drywall or the electrical. Like we had contractors doing our major basement renovation, but the skills that I learned about like doing like working, doing a little bit of like the planning, doing kind of the design of the fixtures, doing the some of the finishing work. Was huge. I learned so much. And then I also learned this things about myself as well, right? It was kind of the catalyst to making me do that introspection and getting the help that I needed. Um, so what you can take away from this, I think, is that first, letting go of perfection is a huge skill that is worth learning. I think this is huge for us women and moms that are, juggling so many things. And there's, especially with social media, like there's that pressure to have everything looking just right all the time. And when we were doing that reno and beyond into our life now, things, when you have young kids, your house is not always going to be put together. There's going to be clutter and a little bit of chaos everywhere. And to be able to sit with that and enjoy it even is a skill that I have mastered a little bit better. I'm definitely still working on it. But yeah, but not trying to make things like Pinterest or Instagram perfect all the time is well worth it and allows you to enjoy a lot more of your life, speaking from personal experience. Um, and then the second thing is like the chaos of being in a renovation. I mean, it can affect you more than you expect. For me, it being feeling like in a bit of chaos in our home environment was hard on me. And if you're going through that right now in a home renovation or like maybe in a different way in your house, some chaos, it's important to recognize that it's not going to last forever. Like the renovation will end. Maybe your kids' schedules will get a little more relaxed over the summer. Like these seasons of chaos that we have in our lives, they're not going to last forever. And to keep up those healthy habits of, journaling, just recognizing, naming it that this is stressful right now and being able to like move through it helps a lot. It goes a long way. And just knowing that everything has a season and it will not last forever. And the third thing that I want to leave you with is that learning DIY skills will teach you a lot more than just the skill. It'll teach you confidence. It'll, um, you know, ch- going through a challenge and learning something, it's going to improve confidence. It's going to, yeah, maybe give you a little bit of like, you'll be dealing with a little bit of fear at first and then moving towards that state of like achievement and feeling accomplished. And so it's worth it to take these home projects and challenges in your life on and look at them as more than just like a crossing off of a to-do list on your home planning journey, but also as like, okay, this is also something that I can like learn from. And you even can look at it as like self-care, not self-care, but like self work, and it's worth it. And so if you are feeling anything like this, I would love to chat with you. So feel free to email me at hello@sheriwalker.ca or find me on Instagram at sheri.walker_DIY. And yeah, I'd love to talk to you about how you are and where you're at in your journey. And if you've enjoyed this podcast and feel like you don't want to miss an episode, please feel free to subscribe, as well as share with a friend that you think may benefit hearing about my story. And I would love to connect with you. So please feel free to contact me. And thank you so much for listening and for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.